What's up YouTube? Welcome back to the Rick Motorsports channel, and today I'm going to be working with my dad on his BMW 35. What's up YouTube? Welcome back to the Rick Motorsports channel, and today we'll be working on my dad's BMW 535D. So let's get into it.
Yes, that's right. So as my son said, we're going to be working on my BMW 535D today, and we're going to change the torque converter along with the Mechatronics seals and new transmission fluid and new filter. It's quite a long job, and the reason I'm changing the torque converter and I'm doing the service is because this car is a high mileage car. It's got 160,000 miles on the clock, and the rev counter fluctuates. So it does basically like this. And that tells me the torque converter needs changing. So I've already bought a brand new torque converter and all the parts which I'm going to show you. This is the service kit for the gearbox, automatic gearbox for the BMW 61 535D. So we're going to need these seals, the bolts for the sump or the filter, whatever you want to call it. We're going to need this
for nothing to put in your head.
We're going to need 7 liters of ZF lifeguard fluid. Okay, has to be this make. That's the proper oil. Don't use cheap oil, use the good one. 7 liters.
Are they recommended for BMW?
Yeah, this is what it comes, because the gearbox is ZF. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then we have the filter. And ZF as well. Okay, all same make. That's it. That's the service kit. Yeah, that's all you need to do the service. So this is the torque converter. Mine is giving me signs of wear. So I'm going to replace the torque converter, because when I'm driving I can see my rev counter fluctuating, doing like this, and it tells me that I need a new torque converter. So that's all we need to have, like a gearbox,
like a new gearbox, exactly. Yeah.
The reconditioned gearbox.
Yeah.
Okay guys, stay with us and let's get to work.
Yeah.
Before we start doing anything, we're going to disconnect the negative terminal of the battery. Battery on BMW is always here on the back, on the right hand side. Okay, this is just a trick I do. Just put a screwdriver here and do that, so the boot won't close, because now we don't have any battery. We're gonna have to remove all these covers first, that one and this one. Okay, these are 8mm bolts all around. This first cover, they're all Phillips screws, and the back one, they're 8mm bolts, okay? So we're gonna remove that first. After removing these two covers, we have a much better view of what we need to do next. We gonna remove this next, and then we're gonna remove the exhaust, remove the whole exhaust. To remove this, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bolts, 16mm bolts. After removing this metal cover, we have now access to the whole exhaust. We're not going to remove the DPF, we're going to leave the DPF there, but we're going to remove that and that. This is a 13mm nut. 4 nuts, 1, 2, 3, 4 13mm nuts, and then one 17mm nut here as well, which allow us to remove the rest of the exhaust. Okay, here we have a temperature sensor, I believe. We just disconnect here and we remove this bracket. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 13mm bolts. Okay, and that's all. The rest is just exhaust clamps, one here and 2 at the back. Now, after removing the exhausts, we're going to remove the heat shields. We're going to remove this heat shield here, this small one here, that one there. Okay. What I'm going to do now, before I start to remove the prop shaft, I'm going to disconnect the gear lever, okay? So I can change the gears manually here, and I can turn the prop shaft manually. Move this back, and that's it. Okay, out of the way, and so we can change gears. Okay, so that's in park now. Park. Reverse, neutral and drive. Yeah. So reverse should be in neutral now. We now going to have to remove the prop shaft. Okay, here we have 3 bolts, 18mm bolts. Just there, one there, another one there, and one on the top. Here we have 1, 2 13mm bolts as well. And here we have 2 466 E12 bolts.
Aqui uma coisa para abrir muito mal.
Right, so prop shaft out, and now we're going to disconnect that plug there. Okay, just turn it anti-clockwise and pull it out. I'm just using a screwdriver, see, screwdriver, and do like this. And it's out. Okay. Right, so now we're going to drain the gearbox fluid. Okay, that's the drain plug there, and on this side is the fill plug. Okay, we're gonna start with the fill plug, see if we can undo the fill plug, just to make sure we can fill the gearbox afterwards. Okay. Yeah, that's all right. Okay, and then we can remove the drain plug and start to drain the fluid. Right guys, so I just removed the oil pipe. There is a 13mm bolt, just undo the bolt, and there's a 10mm nut over there, just there. Okay, just remove the nut. So pull it out. Careful, because it's gonna spill oil. That's it. So it's out. Okay. So then pipes removed. Next, I'm going to start to remove all the bolts around the gearbox, and then I'm gonna remove this metal plate there. Okay, on that 10mm bolt there. Because we're gonna have to unbolt the torque converter, and we're gonna have to rotate the engine, because there's 4 bolts on the torque converter which you're gonna have to unbolt. Right, so far I've already removed this bolt, that bolt there, and that one there, which had the bracket here. So now we have access to the flywheel, and we can turn the engine to undo the bolts of the torque converter. So in that hole there, you're gonna see the bolt. Okay, I think it's the 18mm bolt, and there are 4 bolts. Okay, we're gonna undo all 4, because that is holding the torque converter. So we remove one, turn the engine until we see the next one. I'm gonna undo this one. Okay, that's one. So now I'll show you what we're gonna do. So now, using a screwdriver, okay, we're gonna go right there, here, and we're gonna turn the engine, okay. And if you see there, we're gonna turn the engine until we see the next bolt. And there it is, a little bit more, and engine, a little bit more. That's there. Okay, done. Now remove this one and the other two. Right, just removed all the bolts from the torque converter. Hopefully it's gonna go out with the gearbox. Remove the bolts from the gearbox mount on both sides, and I've got this hydraulic jack just to help me. And what I'm gonna do next, I'm gonna remove the bolts from the top of the gearbox. So I'm gonna drop the gearbox down a little bit so I can get access from the back, because I'm gonna need a long extension from here to access to the bolts. So I'm gonna drop the gearbox a little bit and undo all the bolts on the top, including the starter motor, and then I'll put this back and I'll use the hydraulic in the middle to remove the gearbox. Now we do all the bolts on the top. All the bolts removed from on the top. And now if you can see properly, start the motor undone. See on this side. Start the motor is out. And bolt to bolt. Right guys, so what we've done, put some strap here around the gearbox so it's safer for us, or it helps us a little bit. So now we're going to remove these 4 bolts for the gearbox mount, and the last bolt we have is this one here. Okay, as soon as we remove this bolt, the gearbox is going to come out. All right. So that's the gearbox out, and if you pull it like that, it should come out. That's it. Obviously it's still got some oil in the gearbox. That's the torque converter we're going to be replacing. It's full of oil. Mira aquí, sí. Esa. See. So that's the filter here. We're gonna remove the filter, replace the seals, the Mechatronics seals, replace that as well, and put new oil in the new sump, and that's it. We're gonna start by removing all these bolts around the filter. We're gonna start by removing that. We're gonna pull this down. Like that. And then try to pull it out. You might need to use a pry bar to pry out, because this has two seals. That's alright. Okay, so now we're going to remove 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 7, 8, 9, 10. It's not difficult because these bolts, they different than this one. So this is a T40 and that's a different size. Okay, all the ones we're going to remove are the T40s. Okay, they're bigger. You can see the difference straight away, so you can't go wrong. So we're gonna be removing all the T40s. I'll show you, and then remove the Mechatronics. So 4 on this side. As I said, you can't go wrong because they're the different size. If I try to remove that can't, so it's easy. 1 here, 2, 3, 3 on this side, and 1 on this side. They're smaller, so the smaller ones they belong here. Right, let me show you closer. So that's the seals we're going to be removing and replacing. 1, 2, 3, 4, and this one as well. Okay. So we're going to remove this seal here. And then we're going to remove these 4 seals here as well. Yeah, this one is going to be this one. It's not going to be flat because it's a brand new seal, so it's going to look like that. So that's the first one. Second one. Second one. It's going to be this one here. Second. Third one. It's gonna be. Now they're both the same size, so. And the last one. It's gonna be the one.
Então, rapaz.
Então.
Vês para aqui dormir, caralho.
Não.
Então, vem.
Three small ones over there. Oh, now we're gonna fit the new one. Here you can see that. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna put it there and we're gonna turn it until we feel, see, that's the way it needs to go in. That's it. So that's the sequence to tighten the bolts. Okay, and they tighten to 8 Newton meters. Right guys, so we've tightened all the bolts to 80 Newton meters and now we're going to fit the filter. Just make sure the old O-ring didn't stay in there. Okay, this case is alright, the O-ring is in the old filter and we're now gonna install the new filter. put some oil here around the O-ring. I'm gonna put 4 bolts, 1 in each corner now. We are now going to install the torque converter, and this is very important. You see these 2 holes, 2 gaps here. In there you have two pins which gonna fit here. Okay, so this is gonna go there, and then you gonna have to turn it until you feel the torque converter going all the way in. Vai lá fazer uma coisa. But the torque converter is now in place, and the gearbox is now ready to go back in the engine. Gearbox now in place. I've already put one bolt there, and I've got the other three to do. Basically the same process as we took it off. Put one bolt there, and then turn the engine right there. Turn the engine until you see the next bolt, and do the same for the rest. Right, so all the bolts in the converter tighten. All the bolts around the gearbox on the top all tighten as well. So now I'm gonna just have 1, 2, 3. Need to remove this one to put the bracket here, and put these 2 bolts, and that's it for the gearbox. The gearbox mount is all tightened as well. Just need to tighten this nut and the one above. There's another one here. Okay, and then I'm going to start to I'm going to connect this plug here. Alright, this plug here, just do it like that. It's not easy. Like that, okay? And make sure the wire, because the wire has this metal clips, whatever that is. See, make sure you put them back in the gearbox like that. See, another one there and another one here. See. Right. We now have everything connected. We have that plug connected, the gear linkage, gear cable connected, the oil feed connected, and now we're gonna put some oil. Try to put as much oil as we can now. Right, I managed to put 2.5 liters now. So now I'm going to start the engine and put some more oil, and we're gonna have to wait until the gearbox reaches 40 degrees so we can put the 7 liters of oil. Okay. Procedure is we connect the computer and we go on the oil temperature gearbox and we wait until it reaches 40 degrees, okay? But before it reaches 40 degrees we're gonna change to reverse and wait 5 seconds, then neutral 5 seconds again, and then drive 5 seconds, and then go back to neutral another 5 seconds, reverse 5 seconds, and then leave in park. Okay, we're reaching the 40 degrees, so we're gonna top it up, put the rest of the oil we have.
telespectadores. Olha pra isso. Aham. Tá tudo aí.
The gearbox fluid temperature just reached 40 degrees and I'm now putting the rest of the oil, and that's it. That's all you need to do. Just put the oil until it starts dripping out and then put the drain plug back on. I hope this video helped you guys. If so, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe, and thanks for watching.